I go where I am known. I go where I'm not an illusion. Where I go, I've noticed. Everybody goes there. Everybody goes there.
Are you planning to attend the Minnesota State Fair this year? Whether you attend every year or this is going to be your first visit, you're going to want to stay tuned tonight because we're going to help you make more of that experience, spend less, and help you make the most of your day at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Welcome to Around Town TV Live. My name is Carla Berline, and I couldn't be more excited to have with me tonight spokesperson for the Minnesota State Fair. Please welcome Maria Hayden. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, and as I was saying offline, I know your team spends a lot of time before, during, and after the fair to make sure that we can have a very, very special day. So I'm thankful that you could be with me tonight. And I'm so excited that you're going to help me share the inside scoop on finding discounted tickets, this year's new foods and beverages, new attractions and exhibits, grandstand concerts, free entertainment, competitions, merchandise, and the important things that every fairgoer should know before heading through the gates. So let's get started. Let's start with pre-fair discount tickets and how people can save money.
Yeah, well, I always tell people the best way to start off your fair visit saving money is by saving on your admission tickets. You are able to get pre-fair discount tickets up until the stroke of midnight the day before the fair. So I always encourage people, if you're thinking about going to the fair, even if you don't know what day yet, go ahead and get those tickets now. You can get them at mnstatefair.org on our website. And then you can also get them at local Metro Cub Foods locations, and then also ticket outlets from around the state. So whether you're in greater Minnesota or you're in the metro area, there should be a location hopefully close to you that you can get those. And then you can also get your Blue Ribbon bargain books and ride and game tickets as well.
Oh, fantastic. For those of you tuning in live tonight, or maybe you're going to watch this at a different time, you're not going to want to miss this show. Many of you viewers that have followed us the last 23 years know that for over 12 years, the Minnesota State Fair was a favorite featured or is a favorite featured business. And we used to do whole half hours on a lot of the things we're going to talk about tonight, all in one show with Maria. So you're going to want to stay tuned. In addition to that, what are some other ways that people can save money at the fair?
So there's the pre-fair discount tickets. That's before you get through the gates. And then to get to the fair, I always tell people take the free park and ride bus. Those are a fantastic service we're able to offer. We have more than 30 locations a short distance from the fairgrounds that are completely free to park at and completely free to ride to and from the fair. So instead of paying for parking or finding lawn parking at someone's house across the street and paying a bunch of money, I always encourage people take the free park and ride. Even if the lots fill up, there's usually another one close by that still has space. Or I've heard people who bike to lots if they live nearby. I live right across the street from a park and ride lot, so we just walk across the street. We don't even park there. We take the free bus to and from the fair. So it's a really great resource, and I always encourage people to take a look at it. If you're in the suburbs or further out, there's also a really great low-cost program. Our express buses, we partner with Metro Transit, Southwest Transit, and Minnesota Valley Transit Authority to do round-trip tickets to the fair. They're usually around $5 or $6. So that's another great way to be able to get to the fair, don't worry about the traffic or the parking, and save a little money as well.
And I assume they run all day long. So it's, if you want to leave, you can.
Yes. Yeah. So they usually begin running around 8 a.m. and then they run until the end of the grandstand show. So if you're attending an evening show and you're worried about the bus leaving without you, it won't. They will continue to run until everyone is off the fairgrounds. So it's a great resource and it's running all day. So no matter which time or day you're coming, definitely check it out.
Well, and it sounds like there's more information on your website for discounts and what's free, but what are some of the deals? What is deals, drawings, and giveaway guide for those who might not be familiar?
Yeah, the Deals, Drawings, and Giveaways Guide is a fun little resource that we do every single year. We have vendors submit different discounts that they want to give on special days at the fair. So we've got our Seniors Day, Kids Days, Military Appreciation Day, Opening Day, and different vendors from around the fairgrounds will offer different discounts for those days. So if you are attending on one of those promotional days, you can go ahead and pick up a Deals, Drawings, and Giveaways Guide and check out what the discounts are for that day. The other great thing that is in that pamphlet is a list of different giveaways around the fairgrounds. So, you always love to get the fun little paper pig hats or a new pencil or a fan or something in the education building. So that's a great resource. If you're someone who loves to just get some freebies, you can go ahead and check out what people are offering.
Oh, that's a great tip because I do know a lot of people love to go around and get all the little freebies and that sort of thing. Food and sips. So most of the people that I know, they go to the fair for various reasons, whether it's concerts with their kids, the Speedway or the Midway Speedway, thinking cars. But I think a lot of people, as I do, go to eat the great food and they'll wait in line. So sounds like we've got some really, like every year, new foods and sips. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we've got a really great list of new foods and new vendors this year. We've got 36 of our official new foods. So we announced those in July. That's always, my second favorite day of the year. First is opening day for the fair, and then the other one is new foods because people are just buzzing all day. And so that's always an exciting announcement. If you haven't seen them yet, check them out. They're all on our website, mnstatefair.org. You can go ahead and browse through that and see if there's anything new you want to try this year. I know a lot of people like to stick to their cookies and their Pronto Pups, but there's always something interesting and there's something great for all different taste palettes. We've got some really great sweet options. And then we also have some savory options. One that a lot of people have been talking about is the pickle pie. So you might have heard about that one at Lulu's Public House. That's a fun one for anyone who's big into pickles. And then we've also got some really great new food vendors this year, 9 different food vendors, and it's a variety of different local brick and mortars, local vendors, or people who travel from across the country just to come to the Minnesota State Fair. So we've got a couple different local businesses, Saturday Dumpling Company. They are joining us at the fair in the food building, so that's a really exciting addition. Summer Lakes Beverage, they are opening Summer Lakes Boathouse this year, which is really it's hard to describe until you see it in person, just how cool of a place it is. It's like new construction on the fairgrounds. So it's a large building. They've got entertainment, they've got indoor seating, they've got outdoor seating, plenty of mocktails and different drinks that people can try out. And it's just a really beautiful space. It looks like you're on the lake, even though you're in the middle of the fairgrounds. So that's an exciting addition this year as well.
Very, very cool. And I try to explain to people, so Around Town TV back in our broadcast days was just in the broadcast viewership here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, but we go worldwide. So people do tune in, and I have people from all over the world that follow me. And when I try to tell them about the Minnesota State Fair and explain what a big deal it is, I also try to explain, like, you can't just set up and be a vendor there. So how are foods selected every year?
Yeah, so for that official new foods list, we sit down with a committee. It's usually a couple people from marketing, a couple people from our food and beverage department, and then a couple people from random departments around the fair who work here, but are just kind of representing the everyday person's taste in fair food. They're not there to think about what's going to do well on social media or what the vendor is able to keep up with and produce on time. They're just there to taste the food and see if it's something they think people will like. So we are able to do samples. We offer that opportunity to people who are submitting a new food. Not everyone does samples. Like I mentioned, a lot of people do travel to the Minnesota State Fair from out of state. And then we will go through our different applications and whittle it down to what we think are the best, most well-rounded combination of foods that we are able to present to people, and make sure that they're great products and products that people are excited about. And then also that hopefully something for everyone, no matter what your dietary restrictions are or your taste preferences. We always try to have a very well-rounded list so that something will appeal to you.
Well, and if somebody can't find something to like at the fair, I'm thinking it's not the fair, right? Well, and for those of you who are tuning in, I've explained this a lot too. Nearly 2 million people attend in those 12 days, and it is known as one of the largest and most celebrated, as one of the largest and most celebrated in the world. And I depends, number one would be Texas, but I think, isn't it in terms of attendance or something that we
Yeah.
are the largest?
It's so Texas runs 24 days. The Minnesota State Fair is only 12 days.
Ah,
So they have the largest attendance overall, but they run twice as long as we do. So if
got it.
you look at daily attendance, the amount of people on the fairgrounds each given day, the Minnesota State Fair is the largest. So you can kind of contest who's the biggest fair, Minnesota, Texas, but kind of neck and neck.
That's very, very cool. Well, and you've talked about, there's both alcoholic and non-alcoholic versions for the sips. And are there any, trends in the new foods this year?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, every year there's kind of different trends that will appear. I wouldn't say overall there's a huge trend that I'm
Mhm.
continuing to see, like everyone put in their foods this year, but I would say we've got pickle continuing. That kind of kicked off in 2022 when the pickle pizza was here, and we realized that Minnesotans love pickles, and so
I
people
sure
have
do.
continued to innovate and come up with fun new things for people to try. We've got a couple different bao buns on the list this year. So if you've ever had bao buns, they're like these fluffy steam buns. We've got
Ooh,
one from 𝗚𝗏𝗄𝐻 barbecue that's super delicious. It's got pork belly in it, some really delicious smoked barbecue flavors, hot sauce. And then we've got one that's made of vegan chunk meat, which I had never heard of before, but it's
mhm.
basically a vegan plant-based meat, quote unquote, that really looks and tastes like the real thing. When we sampled it, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known that it was not real meat. So that's at Snack House by Rooted and Wild in the Coliseum. So that's another fun one that we were able to see. Like, here's an option for people who are vegan or vegetarian, and then here's an option for people who, really want that barbecue and that real meat flavor. So that was a fun little micro trend as well.
Oh, very cool. One of my favorites in the last few years is the big Amish donut
Mhm,
from Peachy's, and they are based in Siesta Key, Florida. One of
mhm.
their, and what's really, really cool is for the last 20 years, I go to Siesta Key for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, and they are right around the corner from where I stay. So I literally, and there's not the long fair line. So I can
Mhm.
drive over there, get my coffee, and get some donuts. And, of course, it's always fun to stand in line and get them fresh and hot. But, and of course, we do there too. But so I was like so excited when I realized they were right around the corner. That's become one of my favorites. But I think, well, I like everybody, I eat my way through the fair.
Yeah.
I go hungry and I come home full. New at the fair, highlights. Let's talk about, are there any new rides this year?
We've got two different new rides in the Midway. One is called Thor. It's kind of one of those pendulum swinging rides, definitely a thrill ride for people who are adventure seekers. If you're not a big heights or ride person, probably not the one for you. But the other one we have in the Midway is the Jukebox Fun House. So that's a fun house that you walk through, but it's a really fun musical themed one. It's got different iconic stars from across the years plastered over the front of it. So it's a really fun entertainment music themed new addition to the Midway. So those are our two new Midway rides. We've got two new Kidway rides. And then the big one is we are welcoming the America Wheel, which is honoring America 250 this year. That is the largest traveling Ferris wheel in the country. We previously had the previous largest traveling Ferris wheel in the
Right.
country, but this one is 75 feet taller than the Great Big Wheel that we had previously. So it's going
Broke
in the
your
same
own.
exact spot, but if you're coming to the fair and you usually take a look at the Ferris wheel, it'll be quite a bit bigger this year. So that's a really fun new addition that I'm thrilled and excited to see in person.
That's awesome. What is the exhibit in the North End Event Center this year?
So this year, the North End Event Center has dinosaurs. It's an exhibit called Ultimate Everything That's New. This year, it's a really fun abstract piece. So you look at it, and if you zoom in closely, you can find all sorts of different fair tidbits hidden in it. So there's like a horse hidden in the shapes there. There's a ice cream cone, there's a hamburger bun. So it's a really fun, colorful piece to look at and just see what you can find in it. It's kind of like a fun search. That is sold at the state fairwear gift shops. There's 3 locations around the fairgrounds, and it's on a variety of different merchandise. So you can get a print if you want to hang it up in your house. You can get it on a T-shirt. You can get they have some really cool mugs with the design wrapped around the whole mug.
Oh,
So yeah, they've got a really great lineup of merchandise that I'm excited to see this year.
very cool. What about competitions? Are there any new competitions this year?
Yeah, so we have a new competition in our open class livestock. It's an all other breed show for beef cattle. So it's a fun experience because previously all of our different beef cattle shows were specific to different breeds, but this one is all encompassing for all other breeds. And so it'll be a really fun opportunity to be able to see some different breeds of cattle that weren't able to show at the fair before. So that's a really exciting new addition.
Ah, awesome. Anniversaries. I know you have lots of traditions and people that have been there for a long time. Are there any anniversaries that are going to be highlighted?
Yes, there are several. My personal favorite is it is Fairchild's 60th birthday. So our mascot
Wow.
Fairchild, yes, he's turning 60. So that's a really exciting celebration. We just celebrated his nephew, our Gophers, Fairborn, and Fairchild, our uncle and nephew. His nephew Fairborn turned 40 a
Oh,
couple
wow.
years ago. So now this is a big one for Fairborn. He's turning 60. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's a long time.
That is. Yeah.
And then we've also got some other anniversaries we're celebrating. We've got the 20 years of the eco experience. So that building up in the Progress Center, it's kind of towards the north end of the fairgrounds where you can learn about different ways to recycle or different ways to have sustainable living. That's a project that they started 20 years ago now. So that's a really fun landmark for them to be able to celebrate. So we've got
Well,
a couple of different things.
when you started with the ecosystem and launched that, it was on around town.
Oh,
When
really?
yeah, so that just tells you the relationship and how far back that goes of featuring you on the show. And Fairchild's 1 year older than I am. I'm gonna be 59, so there we go. Oh gosh. Competitions, in the horse shows, are those free for those who've not been to the fair?
Yes, all of our competitions are free. So if you want to sit in the Coliseum and watch a bunch of cool horse shows, that is always a fun one. We've got the draft horses here, and the 6-horse hitch competition is always like a really incredible one. We've got all sorts of giant draft horses, and they are able to move with precision all in a group, which is just incredible. We've got the llama costume contest. That's always a big one. It's the Wednesday of the fair. We only have it once. It's 4-Hers, and they dress their llamas up in costumes, and they have matching outfits to match. So we've got a really fun variety of different shows, and it's all free with
Wow.
fair admission. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's great. In terms of, fair highlights, is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you wanted the viewers to know about?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of really great resources to plan your visit. If
Yeah.
anything I said today makes you curious or you want to learn more, our website, mnstatefair.org, has a lot of really great resources. We've got a food finder. You
Mhm.
can go through and see all the different food vendors, where they're located and their whole menus, if they have any new foods, any new drinks, any value items. We've got a new filter this year that's $5 and under, which is a really great tool for people who are looking to save money at the fair. So definitely check out those finders, mnstatefair.org, and download the official Minnesota State Fair app where you can access those as well.
Oh, that's good to know for those two things. Grandstand shows. Let's talk about that. Tell me about the grandstand shows this year, the range of artists. From what I was reading, Weir Al to Brad Paisley. It sounds like a wide range.
Yeah, that's always one of my favorite things about our grandstand series is it's really a different demographic every single night. There might be an artist you never heard of one night, and then your favorite artist coming into town the next night. So we've got Weird Al, we've got Bonnie Raitt opening the fair. That's a really fun show. She's coming opening day. We've got AJR. They're a band that's had a lot of recent hits on the radio, a lot of fun pop music. So I know that show is one a lot of people are excited about. We've got Brad Paisley, as you mentioned, Hardy are our two country shows. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they have been in town recently doing a lot of different appearances for their Minneapolis Sound show that it will be the first Saturday of the fair. And so that's a really fun celebration. It's a one night only, different kind of new concert that they're putting together with a whole lineup of special guests. So we've got a really great lineup, and we're just excited to be able to have different things for everyone to enjoy.
That's awesome. And for those who are tuning in, I've shared this story before, especially offline with people I've worked with at the fair. But back in the day, there used to be horse races against cars at the fair back in like the mid 50s. And my mom was a horse jockey, and she raced a quarter horse against a manual car, and she beat him because he was never able to get past like second gear in the dirt. But so that was her claim to fame. And she had a watch, and I still have it from the Minnesota State Fair, and, horse champion. And that was right in the grandstand. So I thought that was, pretty cool. Just the things that have been there over the years. And like you just said, the wide range of things. So, but sounds like a really good lineup for this year.
Yeah, and it's an amazing venue. It's, like you mentioned, very historic, and then they've also done some recent upgrades in the past few years. So if you haven't been in the last couple years, they've got some really cool new concessions, some party decks, really pretty string lights. So it's a really fun experience to just be able to finish your fair day with a really fun night at a concert.
Awesome. And I did show a picture of it at night in the promo. Another picture I showed in the promo, which is another one of my things that I love to talk about, is the free entertainment at the fair. There's several different stages. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of different free entertainment on the fairgrounds. If you don't want to pay to go to a grandstand show, there are plenty of different evening shows that you can enjoy free with your fair admission. So we've got the bandshell, which is kind of our marquee big stage. We've got a lot of national acts that headline our bandshell tonight lineup. One of the ones I'm excited about is Margot Price. She is coming to the bandshell, so I'm definitely going to be out there and watching that show for a couple nights. And then we've also got the International Bazaar stage. That always has some really fun, they usually have some really fun cover bands, which is something I love. Just being able to go down there and listen to some fun music and dance. So that's always a great time. We've got the West End stage with a lot of really fantastic local acts. We've got the Family Fair stage, which is focused all on children's programming. So if you're coming to the fair with kids, it's a great place to sit down, sit in the shade, rest your feet a little bit, and have some fun stuff for the kids to watch. So really great wide variety of stuff that you don't have to pay anything extra to see.
Perfect. You answered my next question was about the kids. How do you select all these bands? Because there's a lot of music in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a fantastic entertainment department, and that is their job, to book the entertainment for the state fair. So they work here all year round. It's their full-time gig, and they just work hard to put on some really great acts that people are excited to see and have really great representation across genres and different types of music throughout the fairgrounds.
That's awesome. So, for those that are going to the fair, let's give 3 of your top tips for those returning to the fair that go every year.
Hmm. For those returning to the fair, I would say some of my favorite tips are to make sure you plot out your trip in advance. A lot of people will have the same route, and I did that as well before I started working here. You've got your same different stops that you go to every single year, but I always encourage people, check out all of these new things we've talked about. We've got them all on our website. We've got those finders, as I mentioned, and see if there's maybe anything that piques your interest, and check out something new outside of your routine, because we love tradition and we love seeing all our different fair favorites every year, but there is always something new. So if you don't usually branch out, it's a great opportunity to do so. The next tip I'll give is bring reusable water bottles. We've had a really hot summer, and I know a lot of people aren't sure about what you can bring through the gates and what you can't, but we've got a really great policy for things that you can bring into the fairgrounds. You can bring in coolers, you can bring in your own food, you can bring in your own non-alcoholic beverages, and then we've also got water bottle refill stations all throughout the fairgrounds. So I always encourage people, especially when it's hot this summer, to remember to bring those resources. And I would say, third tip, there's so many I could give, but I would say come during a weekday. I
Yeah.
think that that's the one I always tell my friends and family. And I grew up going to the fair my whole life, and we always went opening day. And I never really thought the fair was like a crazy crowded place that I know a lot of people are turned off by. If you come on a Saturday at noon, it's probably not going to be the most roomy experience. But go ahead and come on a weekday night, or come on a Monday morning or something like that. It's really a different experience, and it's a great way to enjoy the fairgrounds and be able to see everything the fair has to offer with less crowds.
That's awesome. What about for people who are brand new to the fair? Doesn't have to be 3 tips, but what are some of your favorite tips as somebody who's maybe intimidated by the crowds, intimidated just by everything, which is why we did this show to hopefully help them?
Yeah, so actually, we just published a new first time visitors guide on our website. We just posted on our social media today, too, actually. So that is a really great resource if you just want to know how to get those pre-fair discount tickets, how to get to the fair, all of that information that you don't even know where to start with sometimes before you even get to the fair. That's a really great resource. I would also say go ahead and ask the people around you. Minnesotans love to tell you about the fair, and they love to tell you their favorite things to do. And everyone's got different things, you know. At the end of the day, most people love to get, a bucket of cookies or a corn on a cob or some mini donuts, but there are some really great hidden gems that people
Mhm.
don't necessarily know about or don't necessarily talk about all the time online, that you can hear just from your friends and your neighbors and your coworkers who love the Minnesota State Fair and come back every year and find new favorites.
Well, and I have a lot of friends that'll go every single day. They
Oh,
are
really?
like your diehard fairgoers. Yep, a lot of people I know will do that. A lot of my family loves to do that as well. Anything else that we haven't covered or discussed that you thought when I asked you to do this and you were so gracious to do this, that you thought, "Well, you know what? People need to know this."
Yeah, I mean, I would just kind of go back to where we started, the pre-fair discount tickets. Don't
Mhm.
pay extra for your tickets. Go ahead and buy those now. That is always what I encourage people to do. Get those in advance and be sure to kind of plan out your route. I know if you are coming on a Saturday or Sunday, come earlier, come later is usually what I tell people. Kind of avoid that midday rush, and go ahead and plan out where you're going to park, which different lots you're close by to that you can do the free park and ride or take the express bus, and just try to make it, an easy experience getting to the fair so that when you get here, you can just focus on enjoying your day.
That sounds great. And it starts for those of you who are tuning in. It's posted everywhere, but we might as well give the dates. Thursday, August 27th, and goes through Labor Day, which is what, Monday,
September
September
2nd.
7th.
Yes.
Yep. And you open every day at what time?
We open every day at 7 a.m. and then we close the gates to admission at 9 p.m. on most days, and then at 5 p.m. on Labor Day. And so if people want to come out to the fair on Labor Day, I encourage them to take a look at those hours in advance, because they have recently moved up this year and you aren't able to buy tickets after a certain time. So if you show up to the gates at 7 o'clock on Labor Day, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to come to the fair. So go ahead and look at those hours in advance when you're planning your trip, and figure out what's the best route for you.
Well, and I know it's still a couple weeks out, but the weather looks like it's going to be amazing. Perfect fair weather this year in the 70s, so low 80s with so let's hope it stays that way. Thank you again, Maria. Is there anything closing comments you want to say?
I don't think so. I mean, we're just looking forward to the fair this year. We're excited to have everyone out here again. Last year, knock on wood, we had some really nice weather, so hoping for a repeat of that this year. But yeah, we're just excited for people to come out here and celebrate the Great Minnesota Get Together with us.
Yep, 12 days of being able to make just wonderful memories with family and friends, and thank you for taking the time to be on the show. As I shared in the beginning, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this recorded on the various 8 platforms we go live to, the Minnesota State Fair has been featured on Around Town TV back into 2005. We started, and through our broadcast, 12 years of our broadcast days, and I'm just couldn't be more thrilled to have you back on. I just love your team. And I'm grateful for you to be able to share all the things to help everybody really be able to enjoy their day. So thank you again. And
Absolutely. Thank you for featuring the fair and continuing to do so year after year. There's always something new, something changing. Even if you know the fair well, there's always something new to learn every year. So I appreciate you having us on to talk about it.
oh, it's my pleasure. And for all of you tuning in, you know we go live Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time. So stay tuned and please join us again next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on Around Town TV Live. We'll see you then. Thanks again, Maria.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.